Hey, good morning to everybody. Happy Wednesday. It's Daryl here. It's bright and freaking early, man. It's 3 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. Okay, like with yesterday's video, I want to talk about preconceived notions, the things that go through our heads when we see somebody doing somebody driving a particular car or truck, somebody wearing something, whatever. And I'm not doing these videos like the one I did yesterday about I hate trucks. I'm not doing these videos to single people out, to say that I'm better than other people, to rank on people. That's really not my goal here. Today I'm going to talk about baseball caps. Okay. Uh, in the future, just to include myself, I'm sure there's plenty of stuff about me that people think is goofy or looks bizarre. When they see me, they get a preconceived notion. That guy must be a jerk. Look at his hair. You know what I mean? And I'll talk about that in a coming video. I'm not gonna spare myself ridicule. But like I said, the whole idea behind this is I got the idea that everybody gets preconceived notions. The stuff that goes through your head when you see somebody or see somebody wearing a particular item of clothing or driving a particular vehicle or whatever. And I wanted to talk about it too, because like with yesterday's video, I talked about trucks, and I talked about how I always seem to get the image of a Republican Trump supporter being the guy driving the truck. And honestly, the bigger the truck, in my head, the shorter the person. I think, I figured the person is shorter, the taller the truck they have. And these are, they're prejudice. They're not necessarily good, accurate thoughts. They're prejudiced, preconceived notions. And like with yesterday's video about the trucks, I expected to have people comment telling me that they're probably a lot like me, that I was wrong, that there's, liberal people that are, the same as me or whatever. So I just wanted to get this out there. I figured this goes through like pretty much everybody's head, preconceived notions about other people, and it's something to talk about. Today I want to talk about baseball caps, and what I think when I see a guy wearing a baseball cap, and girls or females wearing baseball caps, and my thoughts on that. And I'd love to have you guys comment down below. And if you agree with me or don't agree with me, or you think I'm a jerk, or you think I look funny or whatever, feel free to comment down below. Okay, when I see guys, especially guys, adult guys, I guess in general, over 20, over 30, but especially like, and it doesn't have, I'm not just singling out MAGA red caps. That's not the topic of this video. That'll be another video. This is just baseball caps in general. Like when I see like a 50-year-old guy or a 60-year-old guy wearing a baseball cap, I don't think it looks good, personally. I think it looks juvenile. And this is what I get, the thought in my head, the preconceived notion I have. I think the person's probably trying to hide their hair. I think either they didn't shower that day, so they're covering up their hair, or more than likely, they're losing their hair, and they're covering up their baldness. That's the preconceived notions I have. And I'm sure they're not always right, but every time I see a guy like Trump wearing the MAGA hat all the time, he's wearing a full business suit and a cap, and I think it looks just ridiculous, especially that with the business suit. A baseball cap is really, in my opinion, it's a piece of apparel worn by teens or preteen boys or people. It doesn't have to be just boys, but it's a youngster's piece of apparel that they wear, in my opinion. Now, how they wear it, okay? To be honest, like I said, I'm not saying I'm right on this, and I'm not just trying to, pick people out. Just discussing preconceived ideas that I have, and I want to know what you think too. When they wear their caps backwards, to me, that's even worse. To me, it looks dopey. It looks like this is kind of juvenile, but then wearing it backwards is kind of juvenile and dopey, kind of losing some IQ points when they turn the hat around. The worst, in my opinion, is when they wear that cap with the bill sideways, like off the side of the head, crooked. That to me just looks like Yeah, I don't know. Looks like the person was drunk when they got dressed, or is trying to look cute or juvenile or something like that. That's probably the top of my irritation with baseball caps. Now, women wearing baseball caps. I have a totally different take on that. I used to have a girlfriend, the girl I was dating when I got clean and sober about 10 years ago. She was a gorgeous, sexy woman with long brunette hair, and her whole family, she had like three sisters that were all beautiful. Like I knew them back in high school. And now, even in their 40s and 50s, they had the habit of wearing a baseball cap. And I think women do look sexy. They look sexy wearing baseball. You know, a woman any age, even especially older women, you know, 40s, 50s, especially with, I guess I was going to say with long hair, but it doesn't have to be long hair. Look sexy wearing a baseball cap, and they look sexy wearing, more sexy wearing the baseball cap backwards, in my opinion. Now here's the caveat, the kind of turning point. The girl that I used to date and her sisters, they did this. They wore it all the time. They wore these baseball caps all the time, and they kind of overdid it, in my opinion. It's like you could tell that they knew that they looked sexy. You know, it's better, you know, for guys, for men or women, you know, that they appear sexy, but they don't know that they're sexy, because then it comes across as arrogant. You know, so when the girl I knew that wore, the ex-girlfriend wore the baseball cap like all the time in all the pictures on all the selfies on Facebook with the backwards baseball cap, it was like, it was a little too much. You know, it's like, okay, now you know you look sexy, you know, and it's not quite as sexy anymore when you know, when you're kind of arrogant about it. Those are my thoughts on baseball caps. If you're over 20 years old, really, you know, and you're a guy, you know, just hang up the baseball cap. Don't wear it backwards, and don't wear it sideways. If I'm going to be honest with you guys, I think the reason I don't wear any hats, you know, I don't wear any helmets, which I know is a terrible thing, a bad thing, like on a mountain bike. And if I'm going to be 100% honest with you guys, it probably is because I am arrogant, because I don't want to mess my hair up. This is the thing. My dad went bald when he was 19 years old. And ever since I could remember, my mother used to tell me about this. And I think it gave me like a phobia of losing my hair, you know, shy from ever since I could remember. I remember my mom telling me, you know, your dad went bald when he was 19 years old. You know, so I always kind of had a phobia. And in the back of my head, I always believed that wearing hats would make me go bald. They would suffocate my hair. Some of the ridiculous things. Really, that's why I don't wear hats or helmets or anything on my head, because I don't want to lose my hair. That's what that goes back to. Like I said, the reason these videos is to kind of get out in the open silly and ridiculous preconceived notions and prejudices that I think we all have towards other people, what they wear, the way they look, etc. What do you think about baseball caps? What do you think about guys wearing baseball caps? What do you think about guys wearing baseball caps backwards? What do you think about women wearing baseball caps? Let me know in the comments. I'll be back later with another video. Have a good Wednesday.